So when I first really dove into the online space in 2017, I set myself one clear target. Okay, I was getting into affiliate marketing, and what really grabbed me and dragged me into it was Russell Brunson and the folks over at ClickFunnels. Okay, and without realizing it, setting this one clear target that I want to tell you about in a second became a rule and a mantra that I've lived by ever since, and it's got me to where I am today. Okay, and the reason I wanted to film this video is because over the last kind of 12 to 18 months, I broke my own rule, right? And that doesn't mean we haven't had a blast over the last 12 to 18 months. I've still learned a ton. We've achieved great results. We've worked with some amazing people. And honestly, I've had some huge breakthroughs and epiphanies, but there was always this kind of lingering uncertainty. And it wasn't until recently where I took some time away, been doing a bit more traveling, reflecting on a few things, that I was once again reminded of this lesson. Okay, spoke to my inner circle about it this week, and I think it's really, really important and really, really critical. So I'm excited to share that with you. I've got some trinkets and stuff lying around that I want to share with you as well. Before we jump into it, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, check out that first link in the description if you want to see how we go about building information offers, leverage consulting offers, whatever you want to call them. That'll give you a good example, and then we can potentially chat further. And that's basically it. Okay, so first thing I want to show you is this little trinket here, which some of you might have seen sitting around on my desk. This is from winning the ClickFunnels Dream Car. Okay, now this is for being an affiliate for a software called ClickFunnels, which many of you have probably heard of, and it's a tool that you use to build sales funnels, right? And so it was the folks over at ClickFunnels that got me into affiliate marketing back in 2017. All right, and it was all about winning this award. Okay, now back then I wanted it in terms of like, it's cool to get the trophy and the prize and all that kind of stuff. But when I sit here and look back now, what I realized was the most powerful thing was having that one clear thing to focus on, right? A North Star, if you will. Okay, and so from the time in early 2017, call it February-ish, through until when I won this, which was in August of 2018, right? So, 18 months, it was all I focused on, okay? Now, I used different strategies and different tactics and revised the plan along the way in terms of how I was going to achieve this. I didn't know anything when I started, right? And so what I was doing changed and evolved a lot over those 18 months, but the goal didn't change. Right? I didn't keep moving the goalposts all the time like I see so many people doing online, right? They're playing around with a bunch of different strategies and they're trying to achieve a bunch of different things, okay? I don't have any problem with experimenting with offers, experimenting with your sales process, experimenting with traffic sources. But what you really, really need to avoid doing is moving the goalposts, right? Having that one set North Star that's quite specific so it actually builds some parameters around what you're trying to achieve is really, really critical, okay? So for me, having this as my North Star, I knew that if I was spending my time on stuff that would ultimately lead to getting more people to sign up for ClickFunnels, then that was a good use of my time, right? That was moving me in the right direction, okay? And having it specific enough that 100 people sign up for that thing, which they had to do through my affiliate link, what that did is it set some parameters. So I had things that I could play around with, right? I could play around with the offer that I put with the affiliate offering. I could play around with traffic sources. I could play around with organic versus paid. I could play around with blogging and Facebook groups and going live and doing all these different things. But they all ultimately led to the same point. So it was almost like controlled experimentation, right? And it wasn't that every other week I was jumping off and building something completely different to sell something different. It was all moving in the right direction, okay? Very, very, very important lesson. Once I hit that in August 2018, I was at a bit of a crossroads in the business. It was like, okay, do I continue down this path or do I take on a new challenge, right? And I was still in the affiliate space, and I found this like high ticket affiliate marketing. So the ClickFunnels stuff that I was selling was mostly like recurring in the 97 to 297 range. They had a couple of other offers, but for the most part, that was the main thing you wanted to sell so that you got towards the 100-person mark for that thing. And so I hit that point and I'm like, all right, I want to try this high ticket affiliate marketing thing, and found a company that was up and coming at that time, legendary marketer, invested in all their programs and became an affiliate for them. Right? I invested in all their stuff, so I knew what it was all about and what I'd be promoting, and I wasn't just kind of selling something blind like unfortunately a lot of affiliates do out in the market. And then I looked at their affiliate program, which was the next thing I was going to tackle. And they had this award called a Platinum Award for making $100,000 as an affiliate, right? And boom, now I've got a new target. Now I've got a new North Star, that one thing to focus on, okay? And this is the trophy from that, right? I've got the one that sits behind me here is the first 10 grand, and then this one sits on the wall over there. But now I had another thing to focus on, okay? It's not about the trophies. It's not even about the income overall, right? That's nice. They're all great. They help build your brand. They help get you more credibility, all that kind of stuff. It was about having that one clear focus. And again, in order to achieve that, I played around with a bunch of different strategies and experimented with different things, but it was within the parameters of working towards that one thing, okay? You're starting to see a common thread here, right? And then boom, I hit that like maybe 7 months later, okay? Hit that 7 months later. Around the same time as that, a launch popped up. Now, this is a similar example, but it's a shorter period of time, okay? It's a shorter period of time. It was about 2 months. There was a launch popped up with Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, and Russell Brunson, right? Obviously, I was in Russell's world from the ClickFunnels days, and I was like, I want to be part of this launch, and I set a target of hitting the top 10 as an affiliate against thousands and thousands and thousands of other affiliates. So I put everything else on hold, boom. We have a new North Star. This is the focus. A shorter term one, but this is the one thing that I am working on right now. I actually flipped my entire schedule around because I'm in Australia. I was working at night and I was sleeping during the day because I wanted to be online when all the shit was going down for this launch. New links were coming out, new resources were coming out, all that kind of stuff, all right? Went hard on it for 2 months, ended up coming 11th, right? I literally dropped out of the top 10 in the last 2 hours of the launch, but still yielded a 6-figure day in commissions and got to travel to Vegas, won this award for coming in the top 20, and got to meet Russell, Dean, Tony, a bunch of awesome people at that event in Vegas. And it was another lesson for me that, dude, when you've got that one thing, you're pretty unstoppable, okay? That was around May 2019. I hit a big lull in the middle of 2019, right? And you know what the one thing I didn't have was? That one thing, right? I was dabbling a bit here and there, but I didn't have the focus and the drive and the clarity. And it was because I didn't have my big thing that I was focusing on, all right? And at the time, I didn't realize it. I didn't appreciate it, okay? There were some other things kind of floating around, other issues. One being I was struggling with the working on my own all the time. I'd come from like a pretty high energy corporate office and it was starting to take its toll spending all day working in the office on my own. So I needed to surround myself with people. But a big part of it was not having that one North Star, right? And so it was at that point in the back end of 2019 that I teamed up with my dude Jamie and my dude Chris, and we created the Super Affiliate Accelerator. Okay. And so this was my first real jump into creating my own programs and creating my own products, right? And being from the ClickFunnels world, right? I knew that I could set a target of doing $1 million with this course, which would allow us to win the 2 Comma Club. And that's what you can see on the wall behind you, right? Is the 2 Comma Club from the Super Affiliate Accelerator. Okay, we did that. We launched that in November 2019, and we hit that award in either January or February of 2021, right? So just over a year, give or take a little bit of time on either end. But for the period of time that was the target, all we focused on was selling that course, right? Again, we played around. I did some YouTube stuff. We rolled out some front ends. We did some live stuff. We did a lot of evergreen. We had affiliates promoting it. I grew my group. I was posting on my profile, doing stories. I was doing interviews. We were doing all these different strategies and tactics, and it's fine to experiment and play around with those things to a degree. But the common thread was that it all came back to one central goal, right? Make that $1 million offer, okay? And that includes, making sure people are getting amazing results and looking after people and building the systems and infrastructure. It all goes into that, but it's all built around that one common goal, okay? So that gets us to like early 2021, right? And if I'm honest, since then, I've launched some amazing things and had a blast. I launched my inner circle since then, which is just so much fun. And I love working with all those people. I've had a lot of breakthroughs. I've actually been able to pare back how much I've been working in a big way without taking an income hit. And it's been great, right? But as I said off the top, there's always been that kind of lingering uncertainty. And it's taken me 18 months to set off the light bulb again of the same thing that I've done over and over and over again. Okay, which is just a lesson that like, even if you've done something before and figured it out, it can escape you. You forget, you evolve, shit is happening in life and you forget that maybe you have the answer. And it was until recently that I realized that I'd lost sight of what is that one big North Star for me? What is that one big focus? And so I've been able to recenter on that recently, and it's just unlocked so much clarity, so much focus in terms of where I want to take things. I've been able to map it out, and I can put it up on the wall, right? Either literally or you know, kind of metaphorically, in terms of where I want to grow the inner circle to, student numbers, what I want it to look like, right? Overall income, who we want in there, how I want it to run, you know, one-to-one clients coming off the back end of that, JV deals coming off the back end of that. But it's all centered around the inner circle, right? I just hadn't had the moment of clarity to go, all right, you're doing a lot of different things and you're having fun and that's great. But that lingering feeling of uncertainty and that lack of clarity is coming from not having one big thing to focus on. Okay, so the reason I wanted to tell you all this little story and kind of trip down memory lane, pull out the trinkets and stuff like that, is because I think if you're feeling like you're kind of floating around a little bit and you may be a little bit lost and not sure what's next for you, I would recommend that you pause and take the time and figure out that one big thing. Because for me, every time I've had that, I've felt amazing, clarity, fulfillment, enjoyment. I'm excited to sit at my desk and work every day because I know even if I only have 5 minutes, right? Life's kicking you in the ass and you've only got a couple of minutes, you can take steps towards that goal, right? But if you're spreading yourself really, 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 really thin, when time compresses, it becomes even harder, right? And I was saying to my inner circle folks this week, this is important all the time, but it becomes even more important in the tricky times where life is throwing stuff at you, where there's other challenges that you're trying to overcome, where your available time to work on your business is getting compressed, okay? Having that North Star becomes even more critical because then you can make sure that your time is ultimately moving you in the right direction. It helps you make decisions, right? If this opportunity pops up, you can look at it and maybe you're not sure. Do I say yes? Do I say no? Look at it in relation to that North Star, right? That ultimate goal. Is this moving me towards that? Or is this taking me off in a completely different direction that's just a distraction? Gives you a very quick yes, no, right? I had a bunch of my students JV recently, 3 guys that I've helped each of them go from 0 to multi 6 figures a year. And one of them has a goal of building out their back-end program to a certain level, right? And that was a great decision for them because ultimately it's going to help bring more buyers into their world, which can feed to the back end that they're trying to grow, right? So it helps you make decisions. It helps you allocate your time. And then above all else, it gives you the clarity and the fulfillment that you're ultimately moving in the right direction, okay? And you know what's really interesting is about all of these different things, okay? And maybe this is just me, other people might operate differently. The dream car, right? The legendary thing on the floor, the KBB, the 2 Comma Club, and now this new target that I've set for my inner circle and my little private client group that I run. I didn't put a time frame on it. I just set the goal of what I want to hit, okay? And that's worked really well for me because I found it hasn't put unnecessary pressure. I can go through things methodically. I'm not going to bring on clients that I don't want to work with in order to hit a certain target. I can just keep working through it every day, chipping away at it, saying yes, saying no to different opportunities in terms of how they're ultimately going to build that thing. And I can sit here with 100% confidence and say, we will get there, right? I don't know exactly when, but we will. And it gives me a clear focus every day to work on. Okay, so that's what I would encourage you. Figure out that North Star, figure out that one big thing. It's going to evolve and change over time. Like I just told you, I've had multiple along the way, but they've all stacked up to get me to where I am now. Okay, so yours could be small, right? It could be, I want to get 1,000 members in my Facebook group, right? It doesn't really matter, but having that big thing, something that excites you every day to show up, right? When I look back, most of mine have taken me anywhere from, you know, we'll take the launch out because that was kind of a bit of a different situation. The more evergreen stuff, you know, minimum of like 7 months up to 18 months, right? So I would be looking for some kind of North Star that you can really focus on for like 6 months to maybe even like 3 years or 2 years. Something that you can really sink your teeth into and you've got runway to chip away at each day, okay? That's what I would encourage you to do if you really want to tap into a ton of clarity. And I had a call with one of my mentors, Travis, the other day, and he was talking about, secrets to happiness and secrets to fulfillment. And I was really happy when I heard him say that it's focused effort, right? It's when you've got that thing to focus on and you can focus on creating and building, that a lot of fulfillment and happiness and joy is derived from that. And it's 100% true. And it's very congruent with what I'm telling you here today. Okay. If you want our help with this and you want to get in touch with me and the team, we might be able to help you out. Feel free to join the list, join my Facebook group, all that kind of stuff. But if you take nothing else away from it, right? Figure out what that one big thing is for you, and you can put your head down and just go about building it. No rush, right? Plenty of time, but figure out what it is, and then don't move the goalposts, right? Make the goal really, really clear. You can play around with the process and the levers that you pull in order to get there, but don't move that goalpost. Make it something you really, really want to accomplish. Make it something that really excites you, that's big enough to really, really excite you, okay? It doesn't have to be huge, but make it something that you're like, I imagine what life would be like if I got there, right? Figure that out, put that up on the wall, and then keep going until you hit it, okay? And you will hit it. It's inevitable, right? If you keep going, if you keep experimenting, if you keep trying, and if we can help you out along the way in some capacity, I'd be more than happy to. Appreciate you hanging out with me in this one. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you all soon.